Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Gas, Grown and Sexy. I am the self-proclaimed Power Quick Pot Jock, and I appreciate you guys taking your time out of your busy day to come watch me make a fool of myself in my kitchen, trying to cook another masterpiece of the Power Quick Pot. And today's episode, we're going to be doing some shrimp. It's also sponsored by ThatXpression. I'm rocking the purple and gold. Got the bags in purple and gold for Kobe, LeBron, and we just got Anthony Davis. So it's going to be an exciting season in 2020 for all you basketball lovers out there. So check it out. So stay tuned. Let's get into the show. Real quick and easy. 2 to 3 minute cooking process. Once it's built up to brush it, it's going to be a done deal. You don't need that many ingredients to do this. All I'm using today is got some apple cider vinegar. I got some Tony seasoning for seafood. I got water and some butter. That's it. All this you don't really even need. If you're not a fan of butter, you don't have to use that. If you want to go with water instead of the apple cider vinegar, you should be fine with that. But I want to make sure I do about 2 cups in it just to make sure that I keep enough liquids into this thing so it can cook. You're going to also get some of the water off of the shrimp if it's frozen. So you can take that into consideration. You may not need 2 cups because this is they frozen, so when they thaw out in the pot, that's going to be about a half a cup of water there in of itself. So keep that into consideration. They've been deveined and then large peeled tails, cooked shrimp from your local grocery. That's all you need. A lot of people like to use fresh shrimp, but you know how I do. I like to keep it simple, cheap, right to the point. Go grab a bag off the shelf, throw it in a Power Quick Pot, and let that thing do what it does best and put the seasoning and the flavor into something simple. And it's a good, tasty meal for you, your family, your guests, your friends, whoever. Have a good time, good meal. So let's jump right into this thing. Today I'll be using the actual egg crate here. I'll be actually using for the first time, the little pan that comes with the Power Quick Pot. I don't even know what it's called. Maybe they just call it the pan. I don't know. So I'll be using that to dump the shrimp into once we're done. And I'm also going to be using my basket, of course, that you've seen in my other episodes. So if you haven't checked those out, check out those shows on my channel. Subscribe to it. Click the bell so you'll be notified when I drop another video. So tell your friends about me as well. So let's get started. You know what we do when we first start off. There's lids off this thing, of course. I'm going to set this to the side. And here's what I was talking about, the trivet that we'll be using today. It's got legs on the bottom of it. I'm going to fold them in so it'll sit on top of the tray. It can probably sit inside of the on his leg without any problem, but I'm gonna sit it on this trivet here so it won't be sitting directly into the water and stuff while it cooks. So let's get with that. So basically, let's put the trivet in. I'm gonna get my measuring cup. This comes with the Power Quick Pot as well, so that probably looks familiar to you. Use some vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna pour a little cup of this in here, which is also good if you got high blood pressure. Everybody know about the apple cider vinegar, I guess. So check that out. I'm gonna put this to the side. Grab some water. Not quite a full cup. Go by midways. Drop that in there, because like I said, you're gonna get it from the shrimp as it melts while doing the cooking process. So put that to the side. Now what I want to do. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of the seasoned salt, and if you like it spicy, just get some spicy seasoning. I don't like it too spicy. It makes my head sweat because I'm bald. I don't know. I've been like that forever. Any type of thing that's spicy just makes my head sweat. So that's 1 tablespoon. That's 2, and we're gonna do 1 more. Drop that in there. Done deal. Close that up and put it to the side. And now, we're just going to load the basket up with the shrimp. Now, this is 12 ounces, and they're large, so, some people like to say get a pound of it, what have you. But this is just a little small bag of it. 12 ounces, enough for me. And, if we got guests, it's enough for 2 or 3 people. So, I'm going to dump this all around. The entire bag. Now to do it, set that to the side. Now, one thing I noticed about this little tray thing, I like it, but you got to be careful when you're taking it out of the Power Quick Pot, because sometimes that little knob comes off and it drops back in there. You got to kind of fish it out. So be careful with that. Don't just yank it out of the Power Quick Pot. or your Instant Pot, whatever you're using. So I'm gonna just drop this in there, push the little handle down, and I'm just gonna take a couple of pieces of butter in it and put it on each side. And let that cook in there as well to give it a little bit more flavor. Give it a little bit more flavor. All right, so put that to the side, and that's it. Some people like to top it off with a season, but I'm not. I'm just gonna let the season from the water mixture build up as it cooks the pressure, and it's gonna actually infuse inside of the shrimp itself. So that's a done deal. Put the lid back on. It's on the open position, of course. We just close it up. The vents closed. That's it. And I do everything on manual. You have presets on here like steam, saute, timer, bake, canning, and yogurt. But I do everything on manual. You know, if I need to do it for 2 minutes, I do it for 2 minutes on low. If I need to do it on 5 minutes, I do everything with the manual button, which is the pressure button. So I'm just going to press pressure on this thing here. And right now it's got custom beef, poultry, and fish. And so I'm just going to rock this thing down to flashing on fish, fish, fish. And I'm going to depress it, the button. And right now it's on fish for 3 minutes. I'm going to leave it there. Because if you put it on like steam or saute or something, I'm going to press the button before the display goes off. So all you do now is just, I'm going to turn it on low actually. I'm going to hit it one time. So now it's on medium, 3 minutes. And so if you use the steam function of this thing, for one, you may not be able to leave the lid on it. And two, it's going to start you out about, 5 to 10 minutes or so. So you're still going to end up cranking that thing down to 2 to 3 minutes or what have you. So I'm just going to leave it on fish, cook it for 3 minutes. It's on medium. I've got enough water in there and vinegar so I know it'll cook. It's not going to dry out. Plus I got the water from the shrimp because the shrimp are frozen right now. So that's a plus as well. So let it build up the pressure. It's going to start its cooking process down with 3 minutes on it. And that's it. We'll take it from there. So stay tuned, hang tight. So I'm going to let this thing build the pressure and start the cooking process. And we'll be right back with the Power Quick Pot Jock. Display turned red. So we went from orange to red. So now it's doing its thing. You actually hear it bubbling up. And you can see a slow release happening right here in the back as the pressure is building up in this pot and it's starting to cook those shrimp. So once that's done, count down to 2 minutes. We'll release the steam out. We'll do a quick release on it and see what we have in the pot. Be right back. All right, so as you can hear, the pot is beeping, which means the cooking process is done. We're looking at a series of zeros on the display. I'm gonna let it sit 1 more minute before I hit the release valve on it and let it sit after that and open up the lid for it. So I'm gonna let the display hit 1 minute. So that's actually gonna be like maybe 4 minutes total in cooking time and before I hit the valve on it. So I'll be right back with the Power Quick Pot Jock. Right back. So it's been sitting for about a minute after the cooking process of 3 minutes. So now I'm gonna release it. Make sure you're not blocking the valve on it. Don't have your face over it. Don't have kids by it because it can scald them or burn them. So we're going to go ahead and release that. Let it finish doing it. When it's done, we'll open the lid up on it and see what we have in the pot. Be right back with the Power Quick Pot Jock. Alright, so we got about 3 minutes on it, all the total cooking time. So it cooked for 3. I let it sit for 1, and now we're looking at 3. So it took about 2 minutes for that all at the finish. So now I'm going to open up the lid and see what we have in store. Cross your fingers. I don't know what to expect. So here we go. Lid's off. Let it drip back into the pot. I'm going to set it to the side. And like I said, the little trivet can be hot, so I'm just going to use this so I won't burn my hand as I pull these out and let it sit. So I'm going to let that sit in my pan. Everything looks good. Doesn't look raw. Looks cooked all the way through. They did shrink. The large shrimp now looks like medium shrimp, you know. So that whole process did shrink them up because it's not like fresh out of the water type of shrimp. So got the little mixture in here as well. So I'm gonna dump this out. You can't really see it. I can kind of flatten it out and show you up close. I'll place it on top of my rag so it won't burn my hand. Open it up a little bit. So you can't really see it like that, but everything looks like it's cooked all the way through. And like I said, the large shrimp now looks like medium shrimp, so be mindful of that when you're getting the shrimp in a bag from the frozen meat department at your local grocer. You might want to go with a different kind. So I'm gonna pour this in here, these shrimp in here. Everything looks good, smells good. Set this to the side. Take my trivet out, my egg right out of that. Set that on top to the side. Turn the power off of the quick pot. I'm just gonna just grab this sauce here. Just pour it over just a little bit. Place that back into the power quick pot. Do the taste test and we're done. I'm pretty sure it's scalding hot. I don't want to burn my tongue. So I just gotta put it in there with a little mixture. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's the thing about when you video camera, it's not faces where you can't really see what the viewers are seeing. So I'm just gonna take one. I'm just gonna take two. I'm just gonna take three. I'm sorry. That's pretty good. They shrunk, of course, but excuse me for talking with a mouthful, but this is tasty. Got a little kick to it. So based on the type of spice you use, keep that in mind. It's going to, you don't have to throw the sauce on, the spice on top of the shrimp. It's going to cook through if you just put it in your liquid mixture, whether that's water, whether like you want to use alcohol with it, like a beer or something, or wine, or not wine, but like a cider. It's going to cook through it when you put that spice in there. So I wouldn't recommend dousing spices on top of it in addition to putting spices on the bottom, because that you may not be able to eat it. It's going to be a little too spicy, but that's pretty good. That's good. So that's another episode. I haven't lost yet when it comes to these little recipes. They're good, tasty, flavorful. Like I say, that's enough spices. I can't tell you see it, but my head is starting to sweat from that. That's just part of the, I don't know, being bald, but whatever. But if you like the video, click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you'll know when I'm dropping another video. Tell your friends and fans about me. And that's another episode of Power Quick Pot Jock Cooking with Gas. Today's episode was shrimp. So to wrap that all up, all you need is half a cup of water. I did a cup of apple cider vinegar, and I put 3 tablespoons of some seasoning in it. Put a little butter on each side of the shrimp basket. Lowered it in there. We cooked it for 3 minutes on a manual pressure. We let it sit for 1 minute. After that was done, we hit the valve on it to let that decompress, let the pressure out for like another 2 minutes. So in total, that was another 3 minutes in total. Then we took the lid off, did a taste test, and they're delicious. So see you next time on Cooking with Gas, the Power Quick Pot Jock. That's another episode, another success. That's a wrap. Take care. See you next time.